Welcome to Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines, and indeed we are a live news show for movie fans, where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines of the day, and indeed we are back from our little hiatus there at the beginning of August, ready to get back into all the juicy movie news headlines of the day. We've got some choices to make as a channel here. Do we want to keep the 10:30 a.m. showtime, or shall we move it back a little bit again, maybe towards the afternoon, 1 p.m.-ish? I just want to make sure that we get enough people involved, but we can talk about that towards the end of the show. I'm excited to get back into some of these movie news stories, talking about how Barbie's box office smash continues, and that's really cool, man. That's really cool, but it comes at a cost, and that cost is the Demeter, the last voyage of the Demeter. So what we'll do, we'll start off the show with our movie review for The Last Voyage of the Demeter. So let me just make sure that I got everything set up here properly. Make sure that, my IMDb is ready to rock and roll, like we are. And, yep. Cool, man. Let's see if this works too. Let's see if this, will that work? Oh yeah, that works. Cool, man. Okay. Let's get into this. The Last Voyage of the Demeter is out this weekend, guys, and did you go out and see it? Here's my quick review. I like this film, and well, I did agree with some of the criticisms that it was a touch long, but it's the acting. You want to check this movie out for the acting. So, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Synopsis reads, a crew sailing from Carpathia to England to find that they are carrying very dangerous cargo. So if you don't know, this is taken from the book Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula. You know how that book was told in like small installments from like the captain's log to journal entries and stuff like that. So this is just the captain's log entry, kind of expanded out into a movie. Now, this movie would have been absolutely fantastic if it came in at an hour and 30 minutes, but it did reach that hour and 58-minute mark, and it does run into some pacing issues. But for the most part, I think you'll be rather entertained by the acting, and I did like the creature design in this. The creature design in this was like the Dracula's, the way that he looked, I thought was really cool. You could see that they were using Easter eggs from like other influences, which I had no problem with. And the cast also had some familiar faces. If you didn't know, it had the Onion Knight Liam Cunningham as the captain in this. David Smallchin you may recognize, but Corey Hawkins carries the main load here, and he does a great job in this. He does a really good job. It's kind of like, this is one of those performances where you'll see him, and if you don't know who he is, like me, you'll be like, I gotta check out this guy's resume. I want to see more from him, because he did good. David Smallchin, also good in this. You'll recognize him from the MCU and a bunch of other smaller films. Christopher Nolan works with him quite a bit. David Smallchin. And then it goes to some places where I was like, ooh, that's shocking. That's, oh, we're going there, are we? For The Last Voyage of the Demeter. So overall, guys, I really enjoyed this movie. It's got some pacing issues, as I said. But let's go over to the tomato meter and see what people are saying about it. If people went out to see it this weekend, 48% by the critics, 71% by the audience. So the audience is a little bit more lenient on it for me. This is a kind of movie, I said this coming out of the theater. This is a little bit like the Titanic here. We know how this story ends, right? If you've read Dracula or are aware of the Dracula story, he gets to where he wants to go. So The Last Voyage of the Demeter title is very accurate in that aspect. So you kind of know what's going to happen, right? It's not that big of a spoiler kind of thing, but it's just cool to see how they get there. It starts off great. It's got a lot of great establishing shots of like the ship pulling out of the harbor. It's very, very cool in that aspects. But then, as I said, it kind of flounders towards the middle where it's kind of like, well, we know what's going to happen here. Just get to it already. But the performances are the standout for me. That's the way that I looked at it. So how would I rank this? What would I give this as a score? Let me just pull up my scoring sheet here that hopefully will work because, hey, this is a new movie review. This is my new movie review format that we're going to test drive today. So this goes back to my 5 factors of movie reviews. So you got acting, directing, story, cinematography, the score, the soundtrack, and watchability. Now it's all set at neutral here. So acting was good. Was there any standouts? Yes, there was. There was that one standout from Corey Hawkins, the main lead. So I would say I would give 1.5 for that. All right. Directing, it had some pacing issues in there, as I said. So we will put in 1 for that. And why is that not coming up as 1, James? Just put that in as a 1. And story was interesting. I thought the story was interesting. I'll give that one 1.5. So where are we at now? That's 4, right? Cinematography was actually really good. So cinematography and score are only out of a possible 1 point each. So I'll give that a full point. What does that give us there? 3, 5. We're up to 5 now. The score was serviceable. Bear McCreary, I think, did the score for this. So yeah, I'll keep that at 0.5. So, where are we at now? 3, 4, 5, 5.5. Watchability factor. Because of the acting, guys. Is the watchability factor up there? I don't know. Watchability factor. I kind of want to watch it again. I would watch it again just to see if it holds up, if it's got that factor in there. But it's worth the one look. Can I possibly give it 1.5 for the directing? Did you know that Guillermo del Toro was originally going to direct this? Maybe I'll give 1.5 for the directing as well. So we can change this up to 1.5. It's not quite all animated yet, guys, but it will be. Trust me. So that's a 7. Is that a 7? I think I'm happy with that. A 7 out of 10 for The Last Voyage of the Demeter. That's how I rank everything, guys. What do you think about this new sheet, this new scoring system? Do you like that? Do you like how I quickly summarized all of that together? Does this movie need spoiler discussion talks? Not really. If you know the Dracula story, then you apparently have a good idea as to where this is going. It's got some interesting ideas in there that I think are worth the look. Some may not work for other people. Like there's a storyline with this lady that comes on board the ship that may be like, yeah, do we need that? But for the most part, you're just going to be enthralled with the acting, like kind of like, how does this happen? They pay tribute to like blood splattering all over the sails and stuff like that from like Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula. So it's got cool tie-ins like that you're kind of like, yeah, I don't hate this. I want to love it, but yeah, it's a fair show. I said this straight out of the theater too, that if you want to wait for streaming, it's fine. This thing will be out like in 45 days on streaming services or something like that. It hasn't fared all that well at the box office, but it hasn't had its international release yet. So 6.5 million for its opening box office domestically. It's going to get an international release probably soon, hopefully, because it's going to run into Blue Beetle this next week, and we'll see how that happens. But Barbie's dominated everything. So Last Voyage of the Demeter, 7 out of 10 for me. What did you guys think about my new review system? Let me know in the comments below. Did you see this movie? You're watching Mirror Domains. All right, guys. So we will get back into the review parts here. Glass Viking says 7 is pretty much the audience score in Rotten Tomatoes. Pretty fair score. Yeah. It does have its faults, for sure. It does. But I thought it was worth the look. Surprisingly, from the main actor there, Corey Hawkins. You'll be kind of like, ooh, Clemens, the guy who plays Clemens. And then like Liam Cunningham does like the narration of the captain and stuff like that, and that's cool. So let's just take a look at what else he's done. Straight Outta Compton, Survive, The Tragedy of Macbeth, Survive, Six Underground. So he's been in some stuff, guys. The Walking Dead, he was Heath. Kong Skull Island. He was in Kong Skull Island. Fascinating. Romeo and Juliet 2014. Tybalt. Oh, he was Tybalt, huh? Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo, thou art a villain. Yeah. Cool. Good actor. I want to see more from him. What else has he got coming up? The Color Purple, which comes out this year, right? And then The Piano Lesson. Very good. Yeah, I look at actors like this and I'm like, why didn't you recast Black Panther? Because you've got guys like this that can come in and take those reins over and say, yeah, I'd be on board with him taking it. But that ship has sailed. That's past us now. So, what do you guys think about Last Voyage of the Demeter? Let me know in the comments below. All right. Talking about that, let's get into the weekend's box office report. Because, well, Barbie still going strong, guys. Ooh, Barbie box office. Greta Gerwig becomes highest grossing female director of all time domestically, beating Frozen 2. And it's still going strong, guys. There's still people going out to the theater in pink. So, wow, that is phenomenal. And it's doing well in Japan as well. Or sorry, not Japan. It's doing well internationally as well. So that's really awesome. Despite people saying that it, may not do well in China, but whatever. It is picking up pace internationally. So it's gonna compete with Super Mario for the highest grossing movie of the year. I think when everything is all said and done. Let's go over and take a look at the weekend's box office for the top 5 for this weekend. For the weekend of August 11th to the 13th. Number 1 was Barbie. Number 2 was Oppenheimer. Number 3 was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Number 4 was Meg 2, The Trench. Oh, and then The Last Voyage of the Demeter comes in at the top 5, just at the 5th spot with 6.5 million. That's not quite what I was projecting. I thought The Last Voyage would get a little bit more than that. I thought it would get around the 4 million mark. Well, let's just take a look at Barbie. Barbie is the talk of the town. 33 million on its that's fourth weekend? Wow, fourth weekend. 4 weekends in a row, guys. Barbie smashing the box office. 526 domestically, 657 internationally for $1.183 billion. Wowzers. You got to be happy with that. And I'm pleasantly surprised. Greta Gerwig, highest grossing director. I'm sure that from what I've seen of her reactions to it, she seems to be very humble about it. So that's cool. I'm really happy for Barbie. I really am. And you guys heard me say this before. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles should be riding that kind of success too. It should be, because it should appeal to audiences like me, but it doesn't. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was always for kids, James. No, it wasn't. If you read the original comics, it wasn't. And I'm not saying that you have to make it like appeal to only the older audiences. You can still have it appeal to kids, because Super Mario proved that, right? You just got to make it appeal to the older generations as well. And there was nothing in the trailers for this Mutant Mayhem that made me go, you know what? I got to check that out. And the one thing that was brought up in the live chat once was that, you know what? If the new TMNT was live action, you got the older audience just like that. You got me there. And I don't mean the CGI live action. I mean actual tangible suits or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, 94 million for TMNT Mutant Mayhem. I know some people are going to try to spin that as a success. But I think the budget for, well, it was around 70 million. 70 million plus marketing costs, plus what the theaters take, guys. It still hasn't broken even. It hasn't. If you've gone out and see it, let me know what you thought about it. But Barbie and Oppenheimer Barbenheimer is still going strong. It is going to run into Blue Beetle this weekend. Say Barbie drops down to about 20 million this next weekend, because Blue Beetle's the only thing opening up this weekend here. I know that Gran Turismo's opened up in some international markets. Gran Turismo was supposed to open up last weekend. It got pushed 2 weeks. So Gran Turismo's 2 weeks away. Blue Beetle's next week. Can it make more than 20 million? I hope so. The tracking has improved for Blue Beetle. So no early reviews out yet on the tomato meter for Blue Beetle, but there's like the social media reviews that are out, and people are liking it. But TMNT, I don't think they can be very happy with that. Even the China box office for TMNT bombs as local blockbuster. No More Bets hits jackpot with 101 million. So not even in China they're looking at TMNT. So don't expect too much more from the international box office for TMNT. I just I can't I can't fathom why you would not want it to appeal to a wider audience. Um, I it is what it is. It's come and it's gone. Hopefully they do get a live action TMNT working, but I don't see this one continuing. There were talks about Shredder's going to appear in the sequel for TMNT, but again, you're holding back one of your better cards, and that formula doesn't seem to work for something like this. At least this time around, it doesn't. Meg 2 hanging in there in the 4th spot. Meg 2. Actually, I had fun with the Meg. I did. 256 million. They're happy about that. Meg 2, Jason Statham. Lots of fun. Let's take a look at what the budget was for Meg 2. I think I pulled this up before, right? 129 million. Oh yeah, they're laughing. They're laughing. 120 million. It's doubled it. It's profitable. We are going to see a Meg 3, I would say for sure. That's well deserved. So the 5th spot, Last Voyage of the Demeter, 6.5. We have to go over and take a look at these numbers because we don't have any international numbers. Apparently, it's not even on the slate for people in the UK. That's what I heard. It's kind of head scratcher for me. Get this thing out to as many people as you can, because this will be up. This will be up on a streaming service sooner rather than later. You want to try to capitalize on as much theater hall that you can take, and people coming out of it have been liking it. The critics not so much. Let's go down to the snapshot reviews and see what people are saying here. Rolling Stone, the type of project that manages to lift itself up above the fray by sheer will and chops, not to mention its determination to scratch a throwback genre itch. Okay, let's take a look at someone who didn't like it. CBR. It shouldn't have been an elaborately conceived thrill-kill horror, but instead stays in one gear. Day breaks, accusations are hurled, night falls, people die. Repeat for nigh on 2 hours. Yeah, so there's a shot at the runtime. I said that in my review. That's up on the channel right now, guys. Go check that out. Well, you saw me do it live if you watch this video. A tepid tale of terror aboard an ill-fated cargo ship that carried Dracula from Eastern Europe to Whitby, England. Kind of sucks. Well, yeah. Somebody told me that the actual chapter that this was based on in the book was like only, if not 4 pages. That's it. It's a very simple concept, and I thought they executed it fairly well. That's why I gave the directing one extra nod there. I just want to see if there's any names in here that jump out at me, because I would like to read their snapshot review. But I'm not going to waste a whole bunch of time here. We kind of have to get moving on. Yeah. All right. Last Voyage of the Demeter, guys. I thought it was good, but the Last Voyage of the Demeter Andre overall doll took over the baton from Guillermo del Toro. So del Toro was developing this. Well, I thought was kind of cool. And I like the design of a little bit of Salem Lot's teeth there for that. Um, and then Del Toro himself recommended this director after he stepped away from the project. Del Toro's got a lot on the go. I'm sure he was developing his cabinet of curiosities and Pinocchio stuff last year. He was really bogged down with a lot of work. So to know that he was developing this, I could see that, especially in the design of the boat too. Um, a lot of the production design, I could see that he had his early hands on it, right? Um, so you got that flavor to it. And it starts off with like the romantic uh, idea of them finding a crew to go on the boat and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed it. Um, fifth spot, it's not as quite what they were looking for because the budget for the Demeter was around 45 million. So 45 million on 6.5 on a $45 million budget, it's not going to cut it. But as I said, it's going to get some international numbers coming in, hopefully sooner rather than later. It'll hopefully crawl across that break-even line. It doesn't have that far to go. And once, hopefully, a better word of mouth comes out, because next week, it is going up against Blue Beetle. So it's going to have some competition there. Plus Barbie and Oppenheimer are still going strong. This movie, I think maybe should have been pushed to October and it would have had a better fare because it is horror. It's really shocking. Both like what we have. Haunted Mansion, Last Voyage of the Demeter came out this time of the year. And it's like, guys, what metrics were you looking at where you're like, middle of summer, let's drop this horrific, bloody Dracula story right in the middle of summer? Like, you would think that you would want that near Halloween, right? No? Yes? Huh. Yeah. Arglass Viking says the Voyage of the Demeter is a small chapter in Bram Stoker's book. Hard to stretch the narrative on a classic. I thought the ship scene in Morbius was shorter and to the point. Well, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's why I said in my review that if this was a quick hour and 90 minutes, they find the crew to get on there, people start going missing, and yeah, there's accusations, like there's that aspect of it. Um, that was like only the minor part of it, but there's some really brutal stuff in it, man. Like I was like, holy crap, we're going there, and you're going to show us that we're going there. Okay, wow. Not quite as bloody as say like an Evil Dead Rise, but it's got that gore there, and I really appreciated the creature design, the makeup effects in this was really well done. So hopefully it gets a better fare next week, but I'm not keeping my hopes up. Haunted Mansion still in 6. Talk to Me number 7. Jewels, what the heck is Jewels? Opened up the 11th spot as a smaller release. Don't know what the heck that is. Milton lives in a quiet life routine in a small town of Pennsylvania when a UFO lands. Oh, really? In his backyard. Oh, is that the one with Ben Kingsley? Is that what Jules is? Huh. That'll get opened up in a wider release day by day. 2x2 World. Between Two Worlds. Love Life. Yes. Wow. Guys, not to stretch things out, but that's the way that the weekend's box office has been. What did you guys think about those numbers? Were you shocked by any of these numbers? Like, really, Barbie still hanging in there. Yeah. It may be there for 5 weeks, guys, Barbie. Because if Blue Beetle doesn't perform, the embargo is still up on it, and it drops this Thursday. I will be going this Thursday, so stay tuned for my straight out of the theater reaction for Blue Beetle. But that's pretty much the way that the weekend's box office numbers have gone, guys. Let me just check my my theater listings for Thursday because I want to see. I want to report what time I'm going to be seeing it. Blue Beetles, 4 p.m. So I'll be seeing it at 4 p.m. So I'll be out. Oh, it's 2 hours and 7 minutes. Oh, God, guys. Guys, you just heard me repeat that that Voyage of Demeter suffered because of its runtime. Blue Beetle, why do you have to be 2 hours and 7 minutes? That's gonna hurt it. It is. I don't know why I know that going in, but I know that it is. Oh, Strays also opens up this weekend. A small raunchy comedy about dogs. Now that's got the right idea. An hour and 33 minutes. But I'll wait for that one. I'm not going to see Strays right away. I'll wait for that for a matinee. But Blue Beetle, 4 p.m. I'll be seeing it Thursday. Let's see what the seat previews are. Nobody's been buying a ticket yet, so I'll be going for that one. Toxin in the live chat says, "Hi, how's it going, Toxin? We're just talking about some movie news headlines. We did a movie review for Demeter, looked at the box office. Our says not shocked with the numbers based on what to offer. Bummed that the haters are waiting for Blue Beetle to bomb. I hope it does well. I'm okay with 2 hours for a DCU origin story." Well, don't get me wrong here. I'm hoping that it does well. I'm hoping that I go into Blue Beetle and have that kind of fun sense of, well, at least an entertaining ride. That's what I'm looking forward to. But it's not shaping up well. It's just got it's got no buzz. Nobody's really talking about it, right? No buzz. It's not, and it's just, I think it's because all of these movies that have come out after Barbie have been kind of in the shadow of what Barbie and Oppenheimer got right. Is with their marketing. It's kind of like they got people talking. They got people going out to the theater in costume, wearing the Oppenheimer hats or wearing pink. You don't feel that with these releases, right? You don't feel that with Last Voyage to the Demeter. You don't feel that with Blue Beetle. I felt it a little bit with Gran Turismo, but since it got pushed, it's kind of like my enthusiasm has dropped a little bit. But hopefully that one will be good. Hopefully, keep our fingers crossed, guys. The strikes must have a lot to do with the marketing price. Oh yeah, the strikes, because people can't go out and promote it. The actors can't go promote these things, so that hurts these films too. Because Barbie and Oppenheimer got under the wire just before everything fell apart with the strikes. That they got enough of the cast out for the premieres and stuff like that. But we'll have to see how this all shapes up because it's not good. Moving on. Oh, let's not move on. There are my other social media handles. Go check those out. Yeah, I'm a little bit rusty. It's been a week or so, but I was on vacation. What else can you find here on the channel? Well, guys, tomorrow we will be doing a full live reaction for Heart of Stone. Now, I can't tell you what time of the day it's going to be. I think it's probably going to be at 1 p.m. We'll do Heart of Stone, 1 p.m. my time, Eastern, because this is a movie that came out on Netflix last Friday with Gal Gadot. You know that I'm a big fan of her, so we'll be checking that out. And of course, my review for Last Voyage of Demeter will be up on the channel later on today after I cut it out. Meg 2 is up on there. Talk to me. We did a full live reaction for Bird Box Barcelona, a sleeper hit of the year that I thought was very good. Of course, my review for Barbie and Oppenheimer are up there, as well as Mission Impossible. And of course, then, you know, we do movie news. Come and join us. We may be moving around the movie news time slot because I can. We were earlier because because I was working in the afternoons, so I had to get up and out of here early. So now that I don't have to do that, it may get shifted around. We got a bunch of gaming stuff going on that'll be coming out later on. So we got a lot of content to get through, guys, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I got to adjust this graphic to put in the Twitch handle so you guys can go over and check that out as well. Because that's where a lot of the gaming stuff will be. And then it'll be ported over to a new YouTube channel so you can watch it there. Stuff like that. So there you go. Let's get into Zachary Levi talking about Shazam. What the heck? Shazam star Zachary Levi calls out Hollywood for output of garbage content. Garbage content, Zachary, please. Did you not watch Fury of the Gods? I had fun with it. Was it a masterpiece? Was it something epic that I recommended? I had fun with it, but it was kind of like I knew that it was not for everybody. So what's he talking about? Garbage content. Zachary Levi says, quote, I personally feel like the amount of content that comes out of Hollywood that is garbage. They don't care enough to actually make it great for you guys. They don't. Levi said during the Chicago Fan Expo this weekend. Huh. Well, shots fired, saying that there's some subpar content out there. Looking at what's out there right now, Barbie's not subpar. Oppenheimer's definitely not subpar. Meg 2, silly fun. We knew that going in, and I had fun with Last Voyage of the Demeter. Haunted Mansion, I would agree, is subpar. Talk to Me's good. So out of these two, out of the top 7, and even Mission Impossible is good. Indiana Jones, I would say that is a little subpar. Oh yes, most people would say Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is way subpar. Haunted Mansion for sure. TMNT seems like it's a little subpar. Elemental's not. Insidious Red Door is the highest grossing horror film of the year so far. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse did well. So what are you talking about, Zachary Levi? What do you mean, subpar stuff? Are you talking about subpar superhero stuff? Flash? Is that a shot at the Flash? I don't know, man. How many times do you watch the trailer and go, oh my God, this looks good, or this looks so cool? Then you go to the movie and it's like, this is what I get? They know that once you've already bought the ticket and you're in your seat, they've got your money. And the only way for us to change any of this is not going to the garbage. We have to actively not choose the garbage. It'll help a lot. Well, people are, but they're not doing that with the right movies. Because Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning was a good movie, guys. It was. And it's only 522 million. Barbie is obviously $1 billion. Oppenheimer is doing well. Where's the other one that sort of did not do so well that was really good? Asteroid City was good. Little Mermaid was good. Super Mario Bros. Is still in the theaters, made 20,000 last week. What? But the point is well taken. And I think a lot of people will agree with that. That's why there's no buzz for things like The Last Voyage of the Demeter, which kind of sucks. Because if you're a movie fan and you like these kinds of things, you'll go check it out. But you guys agree with Zachary Levi on this one? Or do you think he's just kind of like a little off? He's misread the situation. I think a lot of us would agree that, yeah, there's some garbage content, especially when it comes to the bigger blockbusters. And like, what the heck was Quantumania? Really? God, guys. Green screen garbage. That's what I would say. Green screen garbage. Get away from the green screen garbage. That's what I would say. And what the heck was the CGI in The Flash? Ooh, terrible stuff. But an interesting quote. Let's stick with the DCU. Because it does pose the question. If there's so much garbage out there, after The Flash, should DC shelve Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom? Well, they didn't shelve Blue Beetle. That's still coming out. And that's supposed to be part of the new DCU. But Aquaman was a $1 billion film. So you got to think that some people will go out and see the second one. Just keep Amber Heard out of the marketing, for God's sakes. Jason Momoa was the draw. The DCU is on its last legs, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is the final attempt to revive it, but there's a little excitement or buzz surrounding the film. It's because we don't know what it's really about. They had that teaser for it, didn't they? Did they have the teaser for it already? And it was kind of like, okay. Warner Bros. May be keeping the film because of the potential, because of the potential tax benefits and lack of faith of female-led superhero films. What do you mean lack of faith in female-led superhero films? Marvel's is coming out. Nobody's talking about that one. So there's no female-led superheroes. The DCU is dead. Yeah, Momoa's vehicle is drowning. And it's not, I don't blame Momoa for this, and I don't blame James Wan for this either. I just blame bad timing of. Yes, the Snyderverse is done. The Flash, I agree with that it was like the death nail for that, right? Flash did it in because of that massively underperformed. It is a huge bomb. And it's kind of like most people are just like, well, if it's done, then why do we need to go see this, right? You pushed it around. Like this movie was supposed to come out last year, guys, and they just kept it. They held on to it for some reason because it was done. This is just sitting in the can. A few minor, like some reshoots to do what? Just release it. That's what I would say, man. And you'll have to reap the tax benefits or reap the losses that you're going to incur from this. Why are they bringing in lack of faith of women in this? This is Aquaman. Yeah, was it Hera or Mera as part of it? But you got a big problem there with Amber Heard in it. She's not exactly the most sympathetic face for your PR, right? Maybe they should get just rid of it. Who knows? If you're the post-credit scene in Flash didn't help either because we saw Momoa in there. It seems like Momoa is going to continue on as Aquaman, maybe. Because in every universe, it's Momoa as Aquaman. We'll have to see. We'll have to roll with the punches, man. They're still going to release it. They're not going to pull it. They're not going to shove it. But the question I think is worth asking. What do you guys think? Should it be shelved or not? Let's go over to the MCU with Loki season 2. Apparently, it's got a huge budget. Loki season 2 budget is too high. Loki season 2 budget of 141.3 million, which is more than some of recent films. Yeah, that's part of the decline of the MCU has been the amount of shows. Nobody can keep up with all that. The diehards have been able to keep up with that. I'm an MCU fan, but there are shows like What If and stuff where it's kind of like, I'm not going to sit down and watch it. Maybe I'll put it on one day when I'm playing video games on the side, but I'm not going to sit down and actively just watch it. There's just ones that, like Miss Marvel, I hear it was good, but it's just kind of like, it didn't really appeal to me. Loki season 1, I quit after the 4th episode, so it's kind of like I know people are excited for it, fans of it. As I said, the diehards, but the fake out deaths got me. There's too many fake out deaths. It's like, guys, we know he's not dead, so stop it. Stop pretending that you're going to try to make me go, oh no, is he dead? No, because we know that there's a season 2. And it's probably going to end with them saying that Loki doesn't die in Endgame. That was just a mirror image of him. It's like, oh, for God's sakes. It's popular, though. It's popular. People like him. People like Tom Hiddleston. Yes, he's a charismatic actor. I like his work as Loki. I just don't know where you're going with the character. You're eventually just going to turn him into a good guy, right? Is that what's going to happen? I don't know. High budget, though, guys. That's a risk. Roll of the dice. What's this Spider-Man No Way Home story? Spider-Man No Way Home concept art reveals Zendaya's MJ should have had powers. What? And I was just talking about Zendaya the other day. I didn't know that she was on Dancing with the Stars. I didn't know that. Good actress. She's in my top 10 actresses right now. I don't know if it's like she was potentially top 5. But between her and Anya Taylor-Joy, it's hard to get into the top 5. Because for me, you got Scarlett Johansson's number 1, Jennifer Lawrence is number 2. Then you got Charlize Theron and Kate Blanchett there in the top 4. So the fifth could easily be Halle Berry. Um, who else? Anya Taylor Joy or even Zendaya. They just got that extra gear in them, right? And between her and Anya Taylor Joy, I think I prefer Anya Taylor Joy, but she's definitely got that extra gear where it's kind of like. Anyway, I'm ranting. Let's see what this concept art with her with powers. Now, is that really her with powers, or is that just the cape? That's Doctor Strange's cape, right? So was the cape going to save her as she fell or something? Was that what they were planning? If they couldn't use the Spider-Man, was she going to fall and the Doctor Strange's cape was going to save her? You can see Ned there in the background, right? um, this is concept art. I don't know about that. It's just speculation. Zendaya puts it, Spider-Man saves the world, but he needs help, you know. He cannot do it on his own, and at the end of the day, he's just a young person trying to figure it out. That's where Ned and MJ come in and try to help him figure it out. They're all very smart kids. Let's not forget. They put their brains together and they're there for each other and they support each other. So I'm totally fine being part of a team. Well, she is part of the team, and she's part of my favorite part of those movies because of just the way that she plays it, like her acting choices. This is not the best shot of her, but even like this, how many times did they have to jump off there to get that shot? Spider-Man No Way Home was awesome. Just a fun little story. I thought it was kind of worth pulling, worth talking about. Yeah, it took a while for me to warm to Tom Hiddleston, but seeing him in interviews has warmed me to him. I enjoy his acting in Marvel movies. He was great in Kong Skull Island. He was good in that too. Yes, good call there, Artglass. And I thought that he was going to be part of the MonsterVerse going forward because at the end of Skull Island, uh, him and Brie Larson go in to be questioned by the the agency that is hunting all the big monsters, right? What is that agency called again? Not Mothra. Um, what the heck is it called? Um, Government agency tracking them. Sorry, it's just one of those things that gets away. Monarch, Monarch. There, yeah, they were going to get recruited by Monarch, and that never materialized into King Kong and versus Godzilla, and they weren't on the casting sheet for Kong and Godzilla 2, which kind of sucks. But who knows? Maybe they'll show up later on down the line again. We'll have to see. Okay, what's next? Equalizer 3 comes out soon, guys. And talking about movies that just marketing is not there. And it sucks because Denzel is one of my favorite actors out there, too. Um, Male actors. So it's kind of like Antoine Fuqua directs this one, right? He directed the other two as well. I like the first one. The second one was a little bit meh, but The Equalizer likely marks the end for Denzel Washington's Robert McCall. Yeah, I kind of got that vibe from the trailer. Like he's gonna sacrifice himself at the end there to fix whatever it is while he's on vacation in Italy. Um, I'll check it out. I don't see another one in it for me. From my conversations with Denzel, this is the final one for him as well. Okay. Well, he is a little bit older, right? But that didn't stop Liam Neeson from doing stuff. A lot of them are younger generation type. There's a little edgier, a little more aggressive. It feels dangerous because it's not just drugs and stuff. You're dealing with terrorists even more now. Could Equalizer 3 be the end? Well, it depends on how well it does at the box office, right? Um, I'm hoping to go to it and just say, yeah, that's a good movie. September 1st, Equalizer 3. So that's what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks away? Yeah, 3 weeks away. So Equalizer 3. Not next week. 3 weeks away, yeah. So I'll be checking that one out, guys. I will be, but it could be the last one. Probably will be because, as I said, the Equalizer films. Take a look at what they were doing. Let's take a look at the numbers. Equalizer production worldwide box office 100. So they're both around 190 million there. I don't know if you guys can see that. 190 million. For their worldwide totals on budgets of about, yeah, so the budgets have been fairly reasonable. So they have been profitable. Not big blockbuster profitable, but they have been. I just hope Equalizer 3 is not like a 3 hour event. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't even need to be 2.5 hours. But for some reason, I'm getting the impression that Equalizer 3 is. Let me pull up the IMDb. An hour and 43 minutes. Okay. That's good news. That's really good news. Popularity is going up. Dakota Fanning is going to be back in this with Denzel. I'm looking forward to that interaction. Gaia Scodellero, David Denman. Never heard of these people. Well, it doesn't matter. He goes to an Italian city and fights the mob, right? Is that what happens in this one? McCall finds himself at a home in southern Italy as he discovers his friends are under the control of a local crime boss, or local crime bosses. So crime boss is, huh? As events turn deadly, McCall knows what he has to do, become his friend's protector by taking on the mafia. But Denzel can still do it, and the trailers did prove that. Um, I hope it does well. I'm looking forward to it. But it could be the last time out for him. We'll have to see. Well, we just talked about Gal Gadot tomorrow, 1 p.m. It looks like we're going to do the Gal Gadot story, guys, because that's what our glass says for. Yeah, so tomorrow we'll watch 1 p.m. We'll be watching that Gal Gadot movie Heart of Stone on Netflix. She's up for the Evil Queen next in Snow White. Snow White's Gal Gadot spent a month preparing for her audition. Really, I'm really looking forward to it. This one looks a little bit photoshopped or airbrushed or whatever, but she doesn't need it. She's just that outstanding, gorgeous. And I hope she just is allowed to play, stretch herself, push herself as an actress in this. And if she can hit that home run, just the way that Melissa McCarthy did with Ursula, I hope she can bring that level. Hope she can, because the rest of the movie is going to need it. By the way that I've read reports about the dwarves, or the the seven dwarves, the way they've changed things up. People are going to be turning their nose up at it because they're not all dwarves. They're not all male dwarves, which will ruffle some of the feathers. Rachel Zegler is playing Snow White, and we've seen shots of her. Um, the Snow White. It's calming now, guys. If you haven't seen what it kind of looks like, it's not looking good. And Rachel Zegler's not doing a whole lot of good in the social media fair trying to defend this film. She's kind of like, well, if it's streaming, I want my take of money too. And it's kind of like, the movie hasn't even come out yet, girl, and you're trying to fight for your. You got paid already for it. It's like, oh, but I want my residuals on the streaming service. And it's kind of like, you're just putting your foot in your mouth. You're not, just let the film come out and let people talk about it without trying to ruffle too many feathers. That's what I would be saying to her as if I were her agent. But I'm more excited for Gal Gadot as the evil queen. That's the way I am. So she said in an interview with GQ, quote, "It was the first time I had to kind of audition for a project in a while. They needed to make sure I could sing because this is a musical." Oh, so she's going to sing. So for a month, I was working on the song, and then I auditioned. We filmed the song, and I got the part, and it was very exciting. Well, even if she didn't fare, like, I mean, they got auto tune, so it doesn't really matter too much, right? And it was so much to shoot because it's so different from anything I've done before. It's so delicious and delightful, and I could really go big and theatrical. I can't wait for you to watch this movie. There she is with her, I guess, makeup crew. Yeah. My middle child was a bit disappointed I wasn't Snow White. When I told them that I'm going to shoot Snow White in a month, she was convinced that I'm going to play Snow White. But then I told her, no, I'm the evil queen. Well, I hope she's good. I hope she's good. Charlize was a good evil queen. Charlize Theron. That's what one of my favorite actresses. So we'll have to wait and see. Um, when is this Snow White movie? It's Snow White. It's not until next year, 2024. March 22nd, 2024. Hmm. So we won't get a teaser for this for a little while, I would say. All right, moving on. Stephen King weighed in. Stephen King says Babylon will be a classic in 20 years. What? No. Did you not see the movie? Uh, let's see what he says. Stephen King took to his Twitter, or X, and said, maybe this says more about me than the film, but I thought Babylon was utterly brilliant, extravagant, over the top, hilarious, thought provoking. Might be one of those movies that reviews badly and is acclaimed as a classic in 20 years. So, okay, so he's not saying that it will be a classic. This headline is a little misleading. Um, he says it may be a classic in 20 years. Um, if you guys follow this channel, you know that my reaction coming out of the theater was not a good one. In fact, I said it was one of the worst movies of the year last year. And that sucks because I like Margot Robbie. Critics didn't really like it. It was a 3 hour, like, guys, if you go to a dictionary, you open up that and you look up the word pretentious, you'll see Babylon as the definition for pretentious. Damien Chazelle did this, and it was rough. This is a movie that should not have been 3 hours, and so many directors have fallen for this. And I don't know if it's just they're trying to emulate James Cameron. Well, James Cameron made a 3 hour Avatar movie, so I'm Damien Chazelle. I can make a 3 hour Babylon movie about Hollywood. That's not really about Hollywood. It's about these people having a party and stuff. It's like, no. Like there's I said it, I acquiesced in my reviews that it had some really good ideas in there. It just wasn't executed all that well. And who else succumbed to this? Ari Aster with Beau is Afraid with a 3 hour epic. Not so much, guys. Not so much. Get away from these long run times. Because it's only the Christopher Nolans and the James Cameron that seems to be able to knock those ones out of the park. Because not even Scorsese has had huge success with 3 hour run times, right? Casino was 3 hours, but like Irishman was like 3.5 hours. Did people go see that? Silence? What was Silence? Oh, how long was Silence? Andrew Garfield. That was 2 hours and 41 minutes. And you hear Killers of the Flower Moon is like 3 hours and 40 minutes. Like, for God's sakes, dudes. Dudes, come on. But Stephen King's, what do you think? Babylon, is it a hidden masterpiece that people will eventually say this was an epic movie? I don't know, man. Irish Times says Chazelle's film commemorates the era's hubris as it indulged in a bit of its own. This is how a world ends, not with a whimper, but a great deal of banging, baby, and vomiting and snorting. Yeah, it's just Babylon. I don't see this one becoming a hidden masterpiece. I like the production design. I like the costuming. As I said, there's some good ideas, but sorry, Stephen King, I can't agree with you on this one. All right. Yeah. Arglass says most items are in category classic after 20 years, so Stephen isn't wrong. Classic in the sense of well loved. I beg to differ. Yeah. Um, it just, yeah. I said it. I said my piece about Babylon. All right, let's move on to some hit or miss. If it's a hit, we'll talk about it. If it's a miss, we'll move on. Awesome art we found online for Ahsoka and Barbie. Okay, let's take a look at some of this awesome art. Ahsoka series, guys. Not this week. Next week. Ahsoka starts. We will be doing full live watch along, so pay attention. Next Sunday, I hope to post up on the community tab our weekly schedule. So we'll be doing that. We may move movie talk show here till 1 p.m. We'll see, to accommodate for the watch alongs. That's a cool Barbie. I'm just Ken. That's cool. Big Lebowski. Blue Beetle. That's cartoonish though. I want to see live action. Aladdin. Kill Bill. That one's kind of cool. You. The heck is that? The Running Man? Running Man. Huh. Oh no. Wait, hold on. The Lone Ranger. Oh, that's the Lone Ranger. Sorry. No, that one sucks. The Lone Ranger sucked. That's the Running Man. Yeah. That's Pyro, Buzzsaw, Sub-Zero, and uh, uh, Domino? Was it Domino or Domino? Or yeah, Domino, right? Yeah. That's kind of cool though. Uh that one's okay. Spider-Man? Didn't see it. Us. Us just got too farcical towards the end. Okay, well that was kind of interesting. Next. Superman's new DCU costume has already been through hundreds of designs. That's a bad Photoshop there. Dynamo. Dynamo was the guy, not Domino. Dynamo. Okay, yeah. For a running man. He got electrocuted with his pants down. Like, ugh. Yeah. Oh, do we have a picture? Not yet. No. James Gunn says somebody asked him on social media. I know you said you've considered designs without trunks, but I think you'll find pretty quickly that trunks work best. No, they don't. As we've done hundreds of designs, it's most definitely not that simple. I expect him ever since Henry Cavill came out without the trunks, you can't go back to that classic look of having like the red trunks over him. You can't go back to that. It just most of us have accepted that it's not going to look like that. I just hope they get away from this meshed look, with all the dots all over it. So it's got like, what's wrong with the sleek look? You can have it looking flat. Is it just because you think it adds texture to it? Get away from that look, because the Superman and Lois suit also has that rippled kind of look to it. I'd like to get back to the sleek look. I'll have to wait and see. But yeah, we haven't seen the costume yet because they haven't begun shooting it yet because everybody's still on strike. We'll see it in time, guys. Just have a little bit of patience. No Hard Feeling. Funniest movie moments ranked. As you know, I'm a Jennifer Lawrence fan. I like this movie, and it's going to be streaming soon, it seems like, if it's not already out. We can't watch that one because of a full nude scene. The opening scene, that one was kind of funny. Jennifer Lawrence, great actress. Banter between Sarah and Jim. They were the side comedic characters. Getting maced, that was kind of funny. Layard reveals too much. Yeah, the parents were creepy, man. Destroying the car. That one wasn't that funny. Setting Maddie on fire. Yeah, when she gets set on fire and she goes into the. Look at the expression on her face. Yeah, she can do that. She's just, as I said, she's got that extra gear. And I know people don't like that movie, Passengers, but when she gets the information that he he unthawed her on purpose, and she's got that look in her face, like she's awesome. She's awesome, man. Generational battle. She says, "Stop filming with me with your phones." Yeah, that was a lot of fun. The missed punch. Finger trap. Yeah, that one. Okay, yeah, that got the people laughing. If you saw the movie, you know what else. It wasn't a finger that was trapped in that. That one got me laughing. The beach fight. That'll be the one that'll get everybody, because they go skinny dipping and the clothes get taken, and well, yeah, we know how that one goes out. I like this movie. I liked it. It's not going to be in the top 10 of the year or anything like that, but I had fun with it. I did. Chris Schober says, have you seen the TV spot Master for Ahsoka? I saw one where they mentioned Anakin's name, but I've been trying to keep away from all the TV spots because I want to go in as fresh as I can. The texture look, I suppose, looks more armored than pajamas look. Maybe that's why it is textured hourglass. That's a good call for the Superman suits. That they're textured so that I don't know, it doesn't look like I don't know, but you can see there are other looks that you can get. It's just Cavill had most of his suits like that, so we'll see. All right, let me just pull up my YouTube page because that's pretty much it for today, guys. We've run out the show. I'm just seeing if there's any trailers that have dropped. I don't see any new trailers, so we will just pull up the old Twitter roundup and finish up the show. See if we missed anything. Okay, stand. Strike. First look at Totally Killer. It centers on Jamie Shipka, who time travels back to 1987, where she teams up with a teen version of her mom to take down a killer. So it's got a little bit of the time travel thing going on there. A little bit like Happy Death Day, right? Except it's not repeating the same day. She just uses time travel, sort of like Marty McFly. Very Michael Myers-esque mask. Totally Killer, huh? Fascinating. Olivia Holt, Kiernan Shipka, Julie Bowen, Charlie Gillespie. Huh. I can see that there's some things there to catch people's eye if it's not the concept. Is this supposed to come out? Not seeing a release date here, guys. Huh. Teenage version of her mother, huh? I was just talking about this over the weekend. The big 80s hair. I said this. I think the big 80s hair needs to make a comeback. It doesn't have to be the big, huge, like the big, huge stuff with like, but like, I like the big hair. That needs to make a comeback. Happy birthday to Halle Berry. We just talked about her. It's her birthday today. Well, happy birthday, Halle Berry. I hope she comes back. If they make another John Wick, bring her back. I want to see her back. Here's one of the best parts of Parabellum. Kiki Palmer. Aaron Taylor Johnson. God, I'm so pissed that Craven got pushed an entire year, guys. We got to wait a year to watch Craven. That's so stupid. Because it's done. It's finished. It's sitting in the can. It was supposed to come out this January. I don't understand it. All the light we can not see. It's going to debut at TIFF. Oh, yeah, which reminds me, I need to try to get some TIFF tickets as soon as possible. Expats. Follows an expat in Hong Kong struggling with an unimaginable family tragedy. 20 years ago today, 2001, Aaron Taylor Johnson on Esquire. God, he's ripped. He's ripped. Who played your favorite performance in Barbie? Well, it's hard to not say Margot Robbie. I know a lot of people like Ken. A lot of people like America Ferrera as well. And the friend, John, Cena, right? Sarah, Michael Sarah, right? I would like to do a Saw movie. Well, that's coming out soon too. Saw X, right? Barbie cinematographer praises Taylor Swift. She's an excellent director. I must say the stuff I've done with her, the music videos, she's been extraordinary. She understands cinema and storytelling. She understands how to tell the story with a camera. She's with a camera, and she's got great technical aspects as well. Yeah, she's going to be doing her own movie, guys. Taylor. Now, I don't know when that movie's going to come out. I'm sure they're developing the script right now. It's but Taylor's into it, and I'm going to be going to see her next year, guys. I haven't confirmed my tickets yet for 2 more days until I can confirm my tickets, but I will be going to see her in Toronto. That's the cinematographer that's worked with her, so that's kind of cool. Wonder what her movie's going to be about, though. Yeah. If so, is that the cinematographer that's going to work on our movie? I'm guessing that's why he's been quoted. We have talked about it, and I don't know if I'll end up doing it or someone else, but I think she's great. If I had the opportunity to work with her, I'd be thrilled. Well, that's the thing too. You got to work with people that you're comfortable with, that you're familiar with, right? The DOP was supposed to take the direction from the director, so if they've got a good working dynamic, why change it up? That's the way I look at it. More Kiki Palmer. Wow, that dress, really. Wow, I'll give that the old heart. She just had a kid, didn't she? Favorite performance in Barbie. Archie Madekwe. He's going to be in Gran Turismo. Passages. That is Bottoms. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 has made 500 million and yeah. That one should have been a $1 billion film. It sucks that it's not. Oppenheimer has entered the top 10 highest grossing R-rated films. All right, guys, I think that's pretty much it. There's a new promo for Equalizer out. Emma Stone. We know this one got pushed to December. It's supposed to come out earlier. Poor Things. She plays like a Frankenstein monster. All right. Well, that's it for me today. This is what I want. I want a poster of this. I want a poster of her like standing, like with that wide shot. I want a poster of that. I'll find one maybe. I don't know. All right. For sure, because you could hear Anakin Skywalker's voice in the background guiding Ahsoka. Okay. Well, I'm sure that he's going to show up. Hey, James, Big Wreck is playing near you November 1st. Nip over to catch the concert since they don't play, and I may, I might nip over to catch the concerts. Really? November 1st? I know that they were just playing a concert north of Toronto this past weekend, I think they were. Is that the Hamilton? They're playing in Hamilton and London. Those are both near me. I could probably go see one of those. I've seen them before. Which one would I'd rather go to Hamilton. Next sale will begin in 22 hours. Huh. And it sucks because they just played in a Hamilton's closer to Toronto, so you wouldn't unless you were flying into London. London, Ontario, not London, UK. Hamilton would be much closer. I don't know. But I could show up at that. To see what it's about, man. Because I do want to see them. They put on such a great show. Kitchener. Well, why isn't it not showing up here? Elements. They are playing at Elements. Weird. Why is it not? That was Ticketmaster, and they didn't show it there. Well, I'll be going to see that. Most definitely. I will be there. Because that's just downtown. Huh. Cool. Thanks for notifying me on that one. I'm going to save that. I'm going to bookmark that. Thank you. I will be there, man. And if you're there, we'll figure out a way to meet up. Yeah, for sure. And I know that nightclub. I know that nightclub. Haven't been in there in years, but I know it. Cool, man. All right, guys, that's it for me today. What do you guys think about today's show? The review will be cut out and put up later. I got to tweak my my movie review design here. Um, I hope you guys can read all of the stuff there. I'm just tweaking with it. I'll redesign it maybe a little bit. Maybe maybe I can move the actual sheet. I can move this part down a little bit. We'll figure that out. Yeah, guys, it's our first week back. I got to shake off the rust, figure out the schedule, what I'm going to be doing and not. I know we will be doing video games later this afternoon, and maybe in the evening. No wait, 10 in the evening, or maybe video games later tonight. I don't know. We'll have to see. It's still all up in the air. But for right now, I'm going to go have my breakfast, and I'll see you next time tomorrow, guys, for Heart of Stone. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Confirmed. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. we'll be watching that. I have a doctor's appointment in the morning tomorrow, so I don't know what time I'll be back from that. But if I got time, I'll be doing a review or I'll jump online and talk some movie news headlines in the morning as well. So we'll be back tomorrow morning regardless. Have you seen the official trailer for Loki season 2? Yeah, I know that it's there. But anyway, Heart of Stone tomorrow. See you guys there. You're watching Mirror Domains.